Hello, welcome to Christmas at Rich's World. Come on in. Now the first thing you're going to notice is the kitchen counter. When you're putting up Christmas, you have to deal with all this stuff. These are the lights from last year that aren't working, so I have to figure out how to make them work or throw them away. These are the ones I bought yesterday that don't work, that have to go back to the store. More of the same. Things that you have to take off the table, so I have to find a place for this. And the first tree I'm going to show you. I bought this tree at a high-end store, and it's to display ornaments. It's not your normal full tree. It's perfect for the kitchen. I have cookie cutters down here. Every year this is a little different, but these ornaments go in this tree every year, and you cannot put enough ornaments on this tree. More is better, more is more. So now we're going to go in the dining room, and that's a little different in there. Now the first thing I want to talk about is there's another tree, like in the kitchen, and this one is wonderful. These are all family ornaments. They're my mother's, my grandmother's, my aunt's. All these ornaments mean something to me. I grew up with them. So I want to display them, and I want to put them up so the grandkids stay away. Anyway, so that's what this is about. These ornaments up here are very old. They're some of the first ones ever made. And the story behind those, Queen Victoria brought Christmas inside. She wanted to do something for Prince Albert. He was German. In Germany, they brought the trees in the house. So she brought a tree in, put it on the table, and it was within weeks. It was in every women's magazine in England and America. And by the next year, everybody was bringing trees into the house. So they needed ornaments, but they were putting candles on them. Someone went to Frank Woolworth. Now, if you don't know who Woolworth is, he was basically the first 5 and dime. And this man brought Frank Woolworth a box of these ornaments and said, you should sell them in your store. And he said, well, they'll break easily. And the gentleman said, I'll pay for all the broken ones. They made a fortune. Frank Woolworth doubled his fortune almost overnight. He made $20 million on Christmas ornaments. And if you go to antique shops, these really old hand-blown ones, they're pricey. Over here, I have Byers Choice dolls. These were made for Colonial Williamsburg. They're made in Bucks County in Chalfont. The first time I saw one of these was 40 years ago. A friend of mine had one. I really liked them. I bought 5, and everybody started buying them for me for Christmas presents. I now have 70. No, I tell people, oh no, I don't need any more. So you'll see them as we go through the house. So this is Lord and Lady Botetourt, and violinists and cello players and the tavern keeper. I think they're wonderful. I love them. I saw a gentleman on YouTube had his wreaths with lights on his blinds. I loved it. I copied it. It's the highest form of flattery. I also was at a Christmas shop. These are so heavy, it's redware. I didn't want to move them. They're fragile. I didn't want them to get broken. So I just put a wreath under it. And then I have all of these redware cats and buildings and beehives. I just put them around, and I think it looks great. We don't use this table. We use the big one in front of the windows in the kitchen. If I decide to use it have a couple over, I'll move the wreath into the other room. In this room, in the hallway, which is part of the dining room, I have a tree with red plaid bows, and I bought those bows 35 years ago, and they've held up great. So, I put them in a shoebox, and put them in the closet, pull them out every year. These are the Philadelphia, I call them the Philadelphia Byers Choice dolls. Betsy Ross, the whole army is here, and I just, the little tri-corner hats, and he's carrying wood, and there's one with a turkey, and she has a little apple tree for a table, and this one was made for Williamsburg, and it's Byers. I don't have my glasses on. Now we're going to go into the family room, which I'm still working on. I got the tree up yesterday, and I'll let it sit for a couple days. I have to go up to the attic and get all the ornaments. I do red beads, large and small, and very Victorian. And then I fill this tree with ornaments we've collected over the last 40 years. And I have little dolls and little nutcrackers, and so that I'll wait till the kids get here, and I think they're coming tomorrow, and my 3 grandchildren, and we'll have fun doing that. This is usually one of the first things I do, is the bay window. I have all these trees. I do artificial. I used to do cuttings from the garden and do roping and make all this stuff. That's great if you put Christmas up on Christmas Eve day and take it down on New Year's Day, which is what my family used to do. My wife took me kicking and screaming to artificial. I would not go back. I love it. You can put it up in November, leave it till February, take it down when you're bored with it, and you don't have to worry about it. And yes, they shed also. So that's the first thing I do, is put the trees in the window and put lights on them, and more wreaths on the blinds in here. And this room is pretty much it when the ornaments get on this tree. Now we'll go into the front hallway and the front room. Well, this is the front hallway, and I haven't put the garland on here yet, which I'm going to do this week. And I sweep it, the way you'd expect it to be, and I put very dim lights in it, and it really looks great. These are wonderful. These are the Dickens carolers, so we have Tiny Tim and Bob Cratchit and Mrs. Cratchit and her figgy pudding, and we've got Sleepy Time Scrooge, and Scrooge after he's had his experience. And then we have, this is my favorite, and I have 2 of them. I like them so much. I found one at a flea market. It's Jacob Morley, but carrying the chains he forged in this life, except they're bells. And he looks like he's been in the other world for a while. So the faces are hand molded and hand painted. And then they're kind of pinned together, the bodies. I just open the drawers and cupboards. I used to put them in boxes and then take them out of boxes. Now I have lined paper in the cupboard, and I just pull the drawers out, put them in, close the drawer until next year, and I pull them out. And the kids love them, and they help me put them out. So, you can get all hung up in having the perfect Christmas and everything being beautiful. It's really about relationships and people and having fun. And if you can't have fun doing it, maybe you should rethink it. So one year I thought I couldn't handle it, so we went on vacation and took the year off. My daughter says, "Dad, you don't have to put it out every year, all of it." So I kind of do what I enjoy doing, and I enjoy it. If you hate it and you're doing it to please other people, stop. We're going to go in the front room now. Okay, this is the kids' tree. I bought it for them. All the ornaments I bought for them. Now, they didn't give me time to fluff it all out so you can see through it. I bought this at a seniors community for $15, this tree. Why not? And the lights were already in it. And then all these ornaments I bought, I box them up every year. We get them out, we put the tree up, and they put the ornaments on. So In the old days, I would have taken them all off when they left, fluffed the tree, and put it all back. But you know what? It's their tree. It's the way they did it. And that's what so I tell everybody, this is the kids' tree, and I enjoy it. So the garland is one of the first things I do. Now to do that, you got to pull the furniture away and take the artwork and the glass globes off, and you have to get it up and you have to fuss the light. That's a little bit more work, but that's one of the, that usually do the day after Thanksgiving, and I enjoy it. Over here on this buffet, I have probably the first Byers Choice dolls I bought, the original ones. And they're some of the older ones, the first ones they made 40 some years ago. And if you look at them, you can see a little bit of a difference. They were just really getting going with the factory. And she started in a garage in Bucks County. And so, you know, you get Christmas up pretty fast when you pull these out and you put them out. It doesn't take long. And then you kind of get in the mood and you roll with it. Now, I have a lot more stuff in the attic. And I think I even have another tree in the attic. So, and I have Santa Clauses. The problem is I'm running out of table space. Well, growing up, and that was a long time ago in the 50s and 60s, my mother, like most people, put Christmas up on Christmas Eve day, and you took it down New Year's Day. And that's just the way it was. And it really was when the artificial trees came in that people started keeping it up longer because it wasn't such a fire hazard. My mother's idea of Christmas was going out and buying us all Christmas outfits. It was all about having people in and going to other people's houses. All my aunts and uncles came over, our neighbors. It was a wonderful week of parties, and always had baked goods on the counters and the tables, and it was a special time. I remember all those dear people. Today, I try to do the same thing. We're having our life group from church in one evening. That'll be a lot of fun. You gotta stay on track. You can get really bogged down if you're working, if both of you are working for a living and you have children. You know, you don't have to put up so much Christmas. Try to keep it on family and friends. There's nothing wrong with one tree or one, you know, you don't have to overdo it. I overdo it because my mother really didn't enjoy putting up Christmas, and our neighbor did. And I used to go over and help her, and it was a wonderful experience. So I think of my neighbor Ruth, and we used to just totally enjoy Christmas. And for me, it's really a special time. And so I have people knocking on the door and coming in and visiting all through the holidays. And I entertain all through January. I leave it up until there's usually a day in February I get up and I'm done with it. And that's when it comes down. And I don't take it down in one day. So I don't put it up in one day, I don't take it down in one day. So remember, it's more than Christmas lights and shopping and trying to impress people. It's more about love and family and friends, and the reason for the season is the birth of Christ. Thank you for spending time with me. I always enjoy it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and have a blessed day.